To date, 80 boats have been repaired and relaunched, and we are still working. Our vessel inspectorate and vessel services section are working to provide those vessel repair rebates needed to complete the repairs for the 50 or more boats that are still on land. We have also started the haul-up process. As you're aware, the flying fish season is coming to an end, and as the custom is, the ice boats or flying fish boats, as the sector will refer to them, would start coming up to land to do their repairs during the hurricane season. So that process has already been started, and more boat owners have expressed their willingness to haul out before the end of the month. So we're working with our colleagues in public and private sector to facilitate those launching and haul-up operations. As you know, we've been working closely with the Barbados Coast Guard, the Barbados Police Service, and Hines Transport to facilitate those operations. I also would like to say that the landings reports that we have been sending to our colleagues at Central Bank Statistical Services still shows a decline in landings when compared to last year before Beryl. And we know that will be the case because all of the boats were not quite back to the 312 active boats that were fishing before Beryl. We're about 260 if we take into consideration the sports fishing fleet. And the sports fishing fleet, although they're doing charters, have been assisting in landing fish to be used at hotels and restaurants. As it relates to hurricane preparedness, the dockmaster and our team would have finalized a fishing vessel relocation plan. And this is especially important since we had the impact to the fisheries complex last year. And we've been working in the past weeks with the Barbados Port 8, the Port St. Charles, their dockmaster, and Mr. Burkett, who's also responsible for the Port St. Charles Marina, to make sure that we have designated spaces for the vessels to go if there is a severe weather system approaching. So we have these harbours designated, so the shallow draft where we can accommodate about 70 boats, the careenage, which is dependent on availability but could accommodate a maximum of 40, and then Port St. Charles is willing to accommodate about 20, and this will be for vessels that are not insured. Port Ferdinand will accommodate insured vessels, but Port Ferdinand tends to fill up quite quickly with water sports boats, catamarans, and others. But these are the designated harbours. As I spoke before, we have been encouraging vessel owners and other stakeholders to actually take up their boats out of the water if they could, so that this would allow us to have less boats to coordinate in the harbour access. We are emphasizing that the small vessels, those Moses and launches, do haul up in extreme weather, but we know the larger vessels where there are more logistics to take them out of the water, we will be trying to put them in designated harbour systems. We have a timeline, and we are communicating that with our stakeholders in terms of counting down from 5 days from the event and the actions that need to be taken 5 days before, and then we go down to 36, 40, 36, and then 24 hours. And then after the all clear, most of the harbours have would like that boats return to their home ports around 24 to 36 hours after the event. And we're hoping for good positive outcomes this year, that we do not experience that catastrophic event like we did last July.